Why is there a kettlebell on our desk?
I'm so jacked up.
That's a heavy one.
I can't get the energy out of my mouth fast enough with like my thoughts and just like verbalizing it. I need to take my energy out on a kettlebell. Okay? So I will sit here and pump some iron while we listen to David Sinclair and Lex Fridman literally trigger me left and right. Not because they're saying anything wrong, it's because they're saying everything right.
And they're asking questions that Tartle can answer.
Yes. All right. So let's just keep going with this here.
And that's also being worked on right now. I hope that we do create kind of systems where I can volunteer to share my data and I can also take the data back, meaning like delete the data, request deletion of data, and then maybe policy creates rules to...
Tartle, no policy needed. It's just built into its fabric. The government doesn't need to do that for you. You can just do that.
So I know you're anonymous and all that. Let's get into what he's talking about. He wants to be able to own the data and then be able to take it back.
Okay. Shut the data stream off.
So so basically Lex Fridman could say, oh, okay, I want to share my DNA data to Harvard Research because they're willing to buy my data packet. And so I want to share it to Harvard Research, but I don't want to share it to anybody else.
See,
or I want to delete it after I share it to Harvard.
Okay. So here's a tough part. The data which you are selling is your asset. When you sell it, you give it to somebody else. So you don't own it.
Right. But I get that part. But like, can I take it off the marketplace after I sell it?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking internally.
Yes. Tartle. Yeah. Absolutely. You can.
Because now because it's like, oh, okay, I sold it to Harvard. I don't want to sell my DNA records anymore, but I sold it to him because I like that, or I donated it.
Be done. And you don't have to delete it. We have phenomenal encryption in our trustless marketplace, right? So you could just leave it there.
Yeah.
And when you change your mind, well, then sell.
Well, I mean, I would leave it personally. I would leave it there if it's encrypted, and then there may be another research study that comes along.
Yeah, but policy is not necessary.
I may be able to.
Policy is saying I don't want to be responsible. I want the government to be responsible on my behalf. Just do it yourself.
Yeah.
Tools right here.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Sorry, we keep going.
Where you can share data, you could delete the data. And I think if I have the option to delete all my data that a particular company has, then I'll share my data with everyone. Like, I feel like because that gives me the tools to be a consumer, an intelligent consumer, of awarding my data to a company that deserves it and taking it back when the company is misbehaving.
That awarding is your choice on Tartle all the time. You choose when and how you would like to share it. If you don't want to give it to those people, then don't.
Yeah, and if later down the road you don't want to, if they want to purchase other parts of data, if they send you another data packet to purchase, but you don't like the way the direction of the company is going, then you choose not to.
And
it's that simple.
Yeah, simple as that.
You could, I mean, worst case scenario is you can delete yourself right off the system. I mean, it's so simple. There's so many choices and freedom that puts you as the sovereign individual over your data.
Yeah. You know, like, oh, I want to pull it off their servers. That's the past. All that matters is the data now in this moment and going forward. It doesn't really matter about going back and pulling data off servers. It's about how you share it going forward.
Well, good luck on trying to go through, find all your data through. You know how many times that stuff's been sold third party.
Yeah.
I mean, you're everywhere. You're
everywhere.
Done.
And so let them deal with looking at the past, and you worry about now and what you can control going forward into the future. And you do that with Tartle. Lex, sign up, buddy. You know, David, buy Lex's data. And Lex, you're not the only one thinking like this. There's many, many people in the TARTLE Marketplace in every country across the globe except for North Korea and Iran that are participating in this. Time for you to participate. We're sharing it with you. It's open. It's a tool, like he asked for, that affords him choice. The fundamental of our human psychology is choice. The The free will for us to do what we want to do with what we rightfully have claim over. And that's our life. That's what that comes down to. That's the fundamental of what he's speaking about. And data, your data is the capture of your life, created by you through your labor. It is your right to control and share and delete when you choose to do so. At tartle.co.
So let's continue, because the next part he gets into is going to be really, really interesting. Listen to this.
And in that way, encourage, as a consumer in the capitalist system, encourage the companies that are doing great work with that data.
Well, yeah, healthcare data security is number one on my mind. Inside Tracker made sure that was true. But these buttons on your chest, there's very private stuff. They can probably tell if you're having sex one night, right? So this is not the kind of stuff you want leaked. Yeah. So I don't know whether it's blockchain or
Speak
something.
for yourself. I want this public. Live stream.
I guess it depends.
Don't want it leaked. We have a completely trustless, self-sovereign architecture for every individual. Nothing gets leaked. You only has the backup passwords, everything, the keys. We can't see your data. Nobody else can. You have full control, full access all the time.
So let's get into this a little bit more, because I know you talk to a lot of health companies considering this, and you're talking to some pretty high up individuals in different organizations, government and World Health Organization, stuff like that. When it comes to health data privacy, what is, like, I know he said that's number one concern. So that sounds good. It's almost like a political soundbite, but what is actually happening
They don't want to get sued.
in reality? Yes.
They have no interest in getting sued. They want the data. They don't want the liability. Simple as that. So we solve the liability issue. There's no privacy issue when someone hands you an asset. You fully own it. Liability's gone. If you do something stupid with it, that's on you.
Right.
But everything else about that transaction, it's your asset, it's your ownership.
The transaction in and of itself is legit, because somebody has chosen their own free will to sell you that data that they've acquired, whether it's their medical records from Kaiser Permanente or whatever digital download that they've done, and then they've turned around and sold that to that organization. Then if it's Harvard Medical Research, then David Sinclair can take that data lawfully, legally, and then use it for his research and studies.
And he can prove with provenance on our data ledgers that are public to see that, in fact, this data came from the TARTLE Marketplace and it only came from here once.
That's where I was wanting to get into some more micro detail like that.
So they can prove anything that may come up with liability to say that, no, we didn't give it to these other guys. And if they're using it, they stole it from us because we ethically sourced it from the marketplace. The ones that's liable, well, first of all, they stole it in some sort of fashion. So I guess we're liable for that. But we, honest to goodness, with actual truthful fact and ledger and provenance and timestamping, show that it did come from TARTLE.
Yeah, and I think this is interesting. And this is why you can't put people in boxes and why you can't have matrices on grids on people. Here's a perfect example. David Sinclair's like, big data privacy, whatever, especially when you're having sex, that's very personal, very private. Lex Fridman's like, I would love to have my sex data out there.
Yeah.
And they're making jokes about it, but I'm the same way as Lex. I don't really care.
Why does it matter?
If a company wants to see my heart rate while I'm having sex and wants to ask me certain questions specifically about sex.
Whoop does.
Yeah, I'm down. I don't mind. I'm not, but see how people are different? To some people, it's very private. To others, it's public. You can't put people in boxes.
So your threshold of privacy, it's completely matched on TARTLE. It's unique to you.
Yes.
So you choose how much you want to share and when and how often.
So this device that he has on, because that's what they're talking about, this IoT device that he has on that's measuring his heart. And then that device turns around and they're signed up for TARTLE. And they could specifically have data packets. So let's say they'd make a sex data packet. And they say, oh, okay, we noticed at 10 p.m. at night, 3 times a week, you're with your partner, and it seems like you're having sex for, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever it may be.
Champ.
10 seconds. Yeah.
Great relationship, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to. Yeah. So then from there,
David Sinclair, 6 hours.
What is going on? And then from there, now you have the choice. So there's a packet that's out there to everybody that has this IoT device. So let's say there's 30,000 people in the United States, Canada that have this device.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can say, no, I don't want to participate in this data packet.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sell my
Then
sex
don't.
data from my heart monitor to that.
Don't.
But out of 30,000 people, I'd imagine probably 10, 15,000 of them don't mind filling that out, especially if they're going to get incentivized or they get to donate it towards causes that they care about.
What the hell kind of like tool affords that structure?
I know, exactly. That's what's solving this problem.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, this is great.
When you decentralize and give it back to the people, it solves a lot of the privacy issues.
Oh, and you take a unity-based model that doesn't put things into 2 dimensions but keeps it 3-dimensional?
Yes.
Interesting how efficient that is.
Yeah, we're almost done. Here we go.
I don't think we're almost done.
Depends on how you go, but there's a lot of stuff you don't want out there, and this definitely has to be number one because it's one thing to have your credit card information stolen; it's another thing your health records are permanently out there.
Yeah. So there's on the biology side, super exciting ways to slow aging.
Let's stop right here because I think we're done. But here's what I want to talk about. So once your health records are out there, and he used the word permanently.
The old record.
So that's the fear.
Fear of what? Fear of truth? Fear of understanding? Is that your fear?
No, I think most people's thing is like, okay, I have this here. Let's pretend like this is my phone. I have these secret texts that I've talked to somebody that's very, very personal. And I don't want anybody to see those texts. That's a data packet of text messages.
It is.
Between myself and maybe another woman. And it would be embarrassing for somebody to read those texts, for them to get out there to the whole public.
Yeah.
So it's almost that same view of fear and shame that we have towards our health records. Like, these are my health records. I almost don't even want them online. I want a folder that's in the hospital.
Is that because you're not responsible with your health and you don't take care of yourself?
Well, this is where I'm getting at. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's, Jason,
it gets into what if I have a problem with, I vomit uncontrollably whenever I have to go speak in front of somebody. I'm just making something up. Or, maybe like embarrassing things like people have.
What is embarrassing? The only person that's embarrassed is yourself because of your perception of how people are viewing it. You're a human being. We all have intricate medical things that go on with us.
Yes. But I mean, if you look at the Unity model, and so let's say we have a great organization, they're coming in, they're doing a research on people that vomit uncontrollably, and then you get, there's 500,000 people that have the same thing. Now let's begin a study on them. Now you're having the ability to be able to help.
Yeah.
And you have the ability to be able to help humanity.
Do not have fear. One thing I would leave this with. Don't have fear to share and be truthful. Because when you do that, you can help yourself and you can help other lives. Remind yourself of that all the time. There's nothing to be embarrassed about being a human being. We are all learning.
So how would Lex Fridman go on to great podcast, by the way? We encourage everyone to listen to it. Very, very well thought out podcast.
Thank you for the catalyst, Lex.
Yeah. How would he go and sign up for Tartle right now?
Lex Fridman would go to tartle.co. And right in the huge hero image, right when you load the screen up, there's a button that says Get Started. And that's all he's got to click on. And with full assurity, transparency, and technological awareness of what is going on, he can see it, make the choice for himself to be a part of this marketplace and use this tool for the betterment of his health and everybody else's health across the globe.
And last question, if David Sinclair through Harvard, or one of his many private things that he does, seems like, since he's leading in this, how would he purchase data from Tartle? He wanted to purchase medical records.
David Sinclair, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go to tartle.co.
Just noticing a theme.
You're going to click on the Buyers tab, and you're then going to click on Get Started. And through the transparent educational and technological awareness of our processes, you will be able to fundamentally make a choice whether or not you choose to participate in accessing the world's most granular and fine data on human beings as individuals collectively across 222 countries.